You are completely still right now. And that is one of the most incorrect things your body has ever told you. The ground beneath you is spinning with Earth. Earth is racing around the sun at roughly 107,000 kilometers per hour. And the sun is carrying us through the Milky Way at more than 800,000 kilometers per hour. But even our galaxy isn't standing still. Add the larger motions of the universe, and you're being carried through space at speeds measured in millions of kilometers per hour. You don't feel any of it. And here's the strange part. There isn't even one simple answer to how fast you're really moving. Start with the ground itself. Earth completes one full rotation every 24 hours. That sounds unremarkable, but the planet is roughly 40,075 kilometers around the equator, so one rotation means the surface travels that entire distance in a single day. That works out to about 1,670 kilometers per hour. At the equator, the ground is moving faster than the speed of sound, continuously, for over 4 billion years, without slowing by any amount a human would notice in a lifetime. Move toward the poles, and that number drops, because the circle you are tracing gets smaller. Someone standing at the North Pole is barely rotating at all. Someone at the equator is moving faster than a supersonic aircraft without engines, without fuel, without any sensation of it whatsoever. What makes this stranger is that Earth has not always rotated at this rate. Early in its history, a single day lasted only around 6 hours. The Moon's gravitational pull has been quietly stealing a sliver of that spin ever since, lengthening each day by roughly 2 milliseconds every century, slow enough to be completely invisible across a human lifetime, significant enough that over billions of years, it has nearly quadrupled the length of a day. Keep that figure in mind, 1,670 kilometers per hour, because Earth is also going somewhere. And compared to that, the rotation barely registers. Earth does not just spin in place. It travels around the Sun along a path nearly 940 million kilometers long, completing the full loop in 365 days. Do the arithmetic, and you get roughly 107,000 kilometers per hour, 64 times faster than the rotation that already felt extreme. The speed from the first layer, the one that seemed significant, was background noise. Every second, Earth moves 30 kilometers through space. In the time it takes to exhale, you have crossed more distance than most people drive in a week. And still nothing. No pull, no vibration, complete stillness. The reason matters. The human body does not register speed. It registers change in speed. The jolt of a car braking, the push of a plane accelerating down the runway. Constant motion, smooth and unchanging and uninterrupted, is physically identical to not moving at all. Earth's orbit is almost perfectly smooth. So in every sense, you have filed the same report. Stationary. You are traveling at 30 kilometers per second, and your nervous system is completely unaware of it. Not because it is broken, because it was never designed to detect this. At first, that feels like the answer. The real speed. The one the title was asking about. Zoom out again, and the number you just fixed in your mind becomes almost irrelevant. The sun is not fixed. Nothing in this story is fixed. The entire solar system, the sun, Earth, every other planet, every moon and comet and drifting rock orbits the center of the Milky Way. The galaxy is roughly 100,000 light-years across. The sun sits about 26,000 light-years from the center, somewhere in the middle of a spiral arm, moving around that center at approximately 828,000 kilometers per hour. One full orbit takes around 225 million years. Astronomers call this a cosmic year. The last time the solar system was at roughly this position in its orbit, the Triassic period was just beginning. The first dinosaurs had not appeared yet. The continents were fused into a single landmass. Every creature alive then has been extinct for longer than modern humans have existed. That was one lap ago. The entire sweep of complex life on Earth, every extinction, every ice age, every civilization that rose and collapsed has unfolded during less than 2% of the current orbit. Through all of it, the solar system has been moving at 828,000 kilometers per hour, silently, without pause, without destination. And here is what that number actually means at human scale. If you could somehow freeze the solar system's galactic motion and watch it from outside, the sun would be threading through the galaxy so fast that it crosses a distance equal to the width of the entire solar system roughly every few hours. The solar system is not gently drifting. It is cutting through the Milky Way at a pace that would be violent if there were anything solid to collide with. Each layer so far has replaced the previous one. Each new speed made the last feel small. What comes next does not follow that pattern. It does not just add another speed. It starts pulling the question itself apart at the edges. The Milky Way is not drifting freely. In the 1970s, astronomers noticed that galaxies across a wide region of space were moving in ways their models could not account for. The velocities were off. Something was pulling them, pulling everything in this part of the universe toward a specific region in the direction of the constellation Centaurus. They called it the Great Attractor. What exactly it is remains partly unresolved. The current understanding points to a massive concentration of matter, likely a convergence of several enormous galaxy clusters and broader gravitational structures beyond them, including the Shapley supercluster further behind, all contributing to a large-scale flow that is not yet fully mapped. The Milky Way, the local cluster of galaxies we belong to, and the broader supercluster we inhabit are all caught in this flow, moving at roughly 630 kilometers per second, or around 2,268,000 kilometers per hour. Much of the gravitational structure influencing that large-scale flow lies behind the plane of our own galaxy, making it difficult to observe directly. The dust and gas and billions of stars packed into the Milky Way's disk sit directly in the line of sight, obscuring the very region pulling us through space. We are being carried towards something we cannot fully see, at a speed we cannot feel, by a force we cannot alter by even a fraction. And we have no mechanism to change any part of that. The final layer does not add another speed on top of this one. It removes the ruler you have been using to measure all of them. In 1929, Edwin Hubble confirmed something that changed physics permanently. Distant galaxies are moving away from us. The farther away they are, the faster they recede, not because they are flying through space, but because space itself is stretching, expanding the distances between everything simultaneously in all directions, without center, without edge. At this point, the question begins to collapse under its own weight. How fast we move through the universe assumes a fixed ruler, a background that is not itself moving, something you could stand next to and clock everything else against. No such background exists. Every speed is relative to something. Change what you are measuring against and the number changes. There is no frame of reference that is simply objectively stationary. This is not a gap in the instruments. It is what the universe is. The closest physics has to a universal reference is the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in existence, the faint afterglow of the universe's earliest moments spread across the entire sky in every direction. Measuring our motion relative to that gives approximately 630 kilometers per second, or around 2,268,000 kilometers per hour. That is the most honest answer available. Not because it is absolute, because it is measured against the most uniform thing the observable universe contains. And there is one further consequence that reshapes the picture entirely. Beyond a certain distance, somewhere in the range of 14 to 16 billion light-years, depending on how the measurement is taken, space is expanding so rapidly that light leaving those regions today will never reach us. The expansion outpaces it permanently. Those regions are already beyond reach. Not eventually. Now. Already. And that boundary is slowly tightening. More and more of the universe is slipping permanently beyond contact. Not destroyed. Not gone in any physical sense. Just sealed off. As quietly as if the connection had never existed. The portion of the universe we can ever interact with is gradually narrowing. Without announcement and without reversal. One galaxy cluster at a time. The actual answer laid flat. Relative to Earth's surface, 0. Completely still. Relative to Earth's core, up to 1,670 kilometers per hour, depending on where you are standing. Relative to the Sun, 107,000 kilometers per hour. Relative to the center of the Milky Way, 828,000 kilometers per hour. Relative to the cosmic microwave background, approximately 2,268,000 kilometers per hour. Every one of those numbers is simultaneously true. Every one is happening to you right now. None of them cancel each other out. Not one has ever triggered a single nerve. Here is what sits underneath all of it. Motion is the universe's default condition, not for special objects or extreme environments, for everything. Planets, stars, galaxy clusters, the fabric of space itself. Nothing rests and waits to be pushed. Motion is what things are. Stillness, genuine stillness, relative to everything simultaneously, is not a starting point. It is not even a destination. It is a direction you can move toward, but a place you can never actually reach. Your body has been telling you the same story your entire life. Quiet, stable, still, planted on solid ground with nothing moving beneath you. Every word of that story was wrong. You have never been still, not for a single second of your existence. The universe has been carrying you through space at speeds your nervous system has no mechanism to detect, across distances that only make sense when written in scientific notation, toward gravitational structures you cannot fully see, inside an expansion that is quietly sealing off more of reality with every year that passes. And when this ends, you will sit exactly where you are now, feeling nothing, sensing nothing. Your body is filing the same report it always has. That report will still be wrong.